Hey, what's up, guys? It's the D. We're playing with the D, watching these realms. And if you didn't know, there is a whole bunch going on in the realms. What am I talking about? Well, not only are we in the middle of the shard summon, which, by the way, shard count. We're currently sitting at 30 of 75 after battling significantly to get the Duel of Champions done. Yowzer. 152 points. I have barely any refills left. Yeah, I've got maybe like 5 fights that I'll realistically be able to do throughout the rest of the day. And I've just been losing nonstop. Just losing. No idea why. Bad, man. Just throwing at the wall. Just nothing works. But that's all right, because I got the shards anyway. Doing very well in a tournament. I'm hoping to wake up tomorrow and have won the Vault and Sands. Even if I came in second, I would be okay with that. No chance in hell that it's happening on the hero training. I was in second place in that for a while. Got this guy, came out of nowhere. Slon passed me. If anything, maybe I try and squeeze out a last little bit before the end, but I may let him have it. I might just let him have it, because I'm not going to need the shards if I win the other tournament. Don't need the shards regardless, because you're going to get Pyros pretty easily. But by the way, did you save your summons? Because, hey, new heroes. That is Constance and Alaura. Now, this banner is also going to feature Hollow, which is the healer magic version of AI. You get a little bit of Theowin, and you get the later herself, the woman of the people, Dalen. Talked about Dalen before on this channel. If you didn't tune in then, thanks for tuning in now. Remember, if it's the second or third time you see my face, why would you hit that button? Hit the button, man. Constance stands strong on the front lines, thwarting enemies while channeling the power of holy light to steadfastly bolster her allies with healing and inspiration. That's a short story on Constance. Her talent: when being healed, the hero restores 3% rage. This effect can be triggered one time every 2 seconds. She is basically a paladin version of Dolores, from what I understand. She has attack-based healing, where we heard that one before. She's got inspiration on her ultimate, where we heard that one before. So, worst case scenario, you pull a fighter version of a little bit of a weaker version of Dolores, because you've got 35% on the inspiration, which is lower than what Dolores comes with, if I'm correct. Because that goes out to 45% after being skilled up. You might notice I'm kind of skipping around the skills. I'm not 100% zeroed in on what you guys like yet. Do you like going over the skill sets? Would you rather watch somebody else go over the skill sets? You know, is it that big of a deal? She does actually come with a 3 block, because she's a true defender, not necessarily like a attacker, so to say. So she is really like a paladin. Not a fan of her design. Truthfully, I think this is a little bad. Just to say the least. In terms of paladin, I like the shield, I like the hammer, I like the book. A+ for generic paladin stuff. Bonus points for giant pauldrons. Not feeling it. Not interested in this one. But let's do it. Let's just go over it anyway. So what else do we got? We've got a single target heal on the basic attack. We already covered inspiration on the ultimate. We know what that does. That's Dolores's, attack up bonus. If you don't know what inspiration does, it increases attack proportionally to the caster's attack. While this effect is active, other buffs infecting the inspiration will not take effect. Additionally, the caster is immune to such buffs. So you can't stack them. So you would want Constance a little further away from your Dolores if you try to double up on your inspiration, okay? What else do we got? We've got Rejuvenating Chant. Increases healing on other ground units by 20%. And additionally, her basic attack that heals allies will also apply self-healing at a rate of 40%. Bippity-boppity-boo. Faithful Renewal passive. When receiving damage, restores HP equal to 100% of healing multiplier. When receiving AoE damage, additionally heals all allies in basic attack range equal to 40% of healing multiplier. The effect can be triggered only one time every 30 seconds. And it doesn't look like you can bring the time down on that, but you can bring the healing multiplier up. So that seems to be a reactionary heal based off of AoE damage. That's not bad. Awakenings for every one ally present in range increases healing multiplier by 5%, so you definitely want to cluster up. A3, when receiving healing, the hero increases attack by 10% for 10 seconds, which increases the inspiration, so you would want that done first before you pop the inspo. Awaken 5, when attacking blocked enemies, the hero restores an ally's HP equal to 40% of healing multiplier. So when attacking blocked enemies, the hero restores an ally's HP equal to 40% of the healing multiplier. Okay, so basically, like, if you've got a Regulus and or any tank, too many tanks, and they're blocking enemies, or even this hero, because they're a tank and they're blocking enemies, they're going to restore an ally's HP equal to 40% of their total healing multiplier, it looks like. Which, as we know, their healing multiplier can get a little high. Now, this is the part where I want to start getting let's get a little serious. Let's get a little serious. I liked reading the lore for Eldar. I thought that was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I kind of regret not going back and doing Ardea. I wish I had. But, lessons learned, right? So, with that being said, I'd love to go in and do the lore for both of the new heroes. You want to do that? You want to sit down and listen to a nice story with the D? Okay. Once upon a time. Hammer of the Holy Light. May the holy light shine through you and guide you safely through the shadows. Excerpt from Hymn of the Jubilant Holy Light. Whether she's crushing the skulls of shrieking skeletons or leading a congregation in prayer, Constance, the hammer of the Holy Light, carries out her duties with unshakable conviction. The daughter of a Holy Light priestess, Constance spent her entire life devoted to the faith. But rather than become priestess like her mother, Constance chose to pick up the hammer. She felt the calling to fight for her faith. Nothing brings her more joy than service to the light. Even among some of the Holy Light's most devout followers, Constance's fierce determination is remarkable. She wants nothing more than to chase away the shadows of evil, lighting a path for the just. When Acadia fell to the tides of darkness, Constance gathered a small contingent of the beleaguered desert. The journey changed her. The tales of abominations and madness told by fleeing Acadians paled in comparison to what Constance and her companions encountered. The more evil they encountered, monsters resembling mangled people, survivors whose minds had been twisted by an arcane corruption. Were not for their faith in the Holy Light, Constance and her companions would never have reached the fallen city. While her companions provided aid to the survivors, Constance gazed at the ruins of Acadia. Among the sand and webs of corruption, she saw great evil and great opportunity. The holy light Constance believed had led her down this dark path for a reason. She was to serve as a beacon that would drive away the shadows and light the path for all who had suffered. Constance's faith was bolstered in the ruins of Acadia, but her crusade had only just begun. Constance fights to preserve the light and to find a way to destroy the corruption shadowing her beloved Tyre. The Tale of the Hammer of the Holy Light. All right. That is Constance. She comes in with a maximum of 3,000 defense, 23,000 hit points, 3,000 attack to build your inspiration off of, and 2,300 magic resistance. That is about par for the course. Nice little range. A little bit of increase there. She just gets a little block first, and then you go wha-bam. There's the Dolores range. All right. That is Constance. Okay? 5 out of 10. Don't really care. Now, Laura, on the other hand, let me tell you. Hello. We got a marksman in there, a piercer. That's pretty good. An elf archer cloaked in the radiance of holiness. Lethal and precise. Cloaking is going to be a big part of her kit. This chick goes invisible. When the ultimate is not activated, remains in the invisibility state. What's that mean? Well, contrary to, I believe, Hotsuit, who goes invisible when they do their ultimate, Alaura is just invisible all the time until she pops her ultimate. And then she's like, hello, it's me. Physical attack, 100% damage, 120% skilled up. Burst Strike Ultimate. When triggered, loses the invisibility state, as we discussed. Each attack changes to 2 strikes in a row, and damage to airborne units increases by 45%. Damage multiplier to airborne units can be increased by an additional 15% skill up to a total of 60, and you can reduce the skill cost by 100. This is pretty atypical, but that burst damage will be quite helpful. Extreme Concentration. Increases crit rate by 10% if there are no adjacent allies in the adjacent tiles. Increases crit damage by 20%. So, right away you get 10%. I should have paused at the period. Reading comprehension. Apologies. Second sentence. If there are no allies in the adjacent tiles, she gets a 20% crit increase. Crit damage increase. You can boost the rate by 5% and the damage by 15%. So you could build her theoretically with 15% less crit rate and still get the full amount of 100% crit as long as you don't put anybody near her and use somebody like, I don't know, Island or Vortex, the healer. Scattered shots. During the ultimate, for each crit hit landed, deals 60% damage to 2 targets within 1.5 tiles of the initial target. So we get a little splash damage on top. I like this. I like it a lot. Let's take a look at the range. Typical 9, 12 blocks. Start with 10, get 12. Not very high attack, 3,600, 11,000 HP. Not very good defense and resistance, but she's going to be invisible, folks. Don't need to worry about it. Awakenings, A1. Excess crit rate is converted into equal percentage of crit damage. Ooh, so you could still put her at 100%, still get the extra 15%, and that'll be converted into some extra crit damage. We like extra crit damage, folks. Like it a lot. Crit hit triggered in the invisibility state will have a 50% chance to deal an additional 80% damage to 2 targets within 1.5 tiles of the initial target. Whoa. Every single time you critical, which should be every single shot, you have a 50% chance to deal an additional 80% damage to 2 targets. within almost up to 2 targets of the initial target. That's some mega splash damage if you're lucky enough to get 4 copies of her. If you're lucky enough to get 6, here's what's behind door number 3. A5, when in the invisibility state, every 10 critical hits triggered will increase damage by 10% during the next ultimate, stacking up to 3 times. When the ultimate ends, the damage increase will be removed. Holy schmoly. An extra 30% damage for the ultimate? That's a pretty delicious juice box. What's the tail of Alaura? Thank you, guild members, for completing raids. The subtle arrow. This one is at war with herself. Pain washes through her like a river, but I believe her cause just. Elowin, the meadow sage. The taking of life is no small matter. Though it comes naturally to many of Tyre's warriors, this is not the case for Alaura. The subtle arrow. Schooled in the art of healing, it was many years before she picked up a bow. It's said that even the worst elven archers rarely miss their mark, but Alaura cared very little for archery. She believed in the preservation of life, and once she discovered the holy light, her convictions were all the more powerful. Then why is this chick so good at destroying things? By no means are the elves an overtly violent people. They share a deep connection with the natural world. However, many discovered Alaura's pacifism to be impractical in the hostile world of Tyre. Nevertheless, her talents as a healer were eventually lauded far and wide, and all who fell under her care were supremely grateful. But there often comes a time for when a healing hand is not enough to stem the flow of blood. Alaura's life changed forever when a cunning band of goblins began leading raids on an outpost where she was assigned as a healer. The strongest elven warriors were sent to deal with the threat, but this was exactly what the clever goblins expected. Oh, those dastardly goblins. While the elven rangers set off to the east, the vulnerable outpost was attacked from the west. The few remaining warriors were quickly cut down as Alaura tended frantically to the wounded. When the last elven defender fell, she passed Alaura her bow with the pleading look in her eyes. This was Alaura's moment. Putting pacifism aside, Alaura channeled the holy light in a new direction, using it to guide her arrows into the hearts of the invaders. She tended the wounded between volleys, steering herself as she defied her core beliefs. For 2 days and nights, she repelled the goblins until the rangers returned. When the dust settled, the elves looked upon the healer in a new light. They dubbed her the subtle arrow. While many believed she would return to her pacifist ways, Alaura realized that she could no longer abstain from the fight. Her talent with a bow was one she could not ignore, and with it, she would defend her people. The tale of the subtle arrow. There you have it. That is Constance and Alaura, the 2 new heroes that are coming to the banner on Friday. All the good stuff shaping up for Friday. You know what else is coming on Friday? Did you stick around for all that lore? Because we've got 1+1 summon event. That's right. I hope you saved. I saved my summons. Oh, did I save my summons, buddy. I got 56 summons. I got 30 that I can do with gems. You know, we could sell some folks and do some more. Now, I do have to admit, I did do, I want to say I did 4 pulls on this. I recorded it uneventful. I did 6 pulls with this just to wrap up the 10 for the weekly because I had already summoned. I figured, F it, why not? Again, completely uneventful. I had one last shot in the dark. I said, why not? Let's see what happens. Uneventful. Okay? You missed nothing. And all said, I did 4 ancient summons, 6 regular summons and 1 divine summon. Got a few epics, nothing amazing. Pretty much all blues. So with that being said, I'm super excited that we've got another 1+1 coming up. I'm super excited that we've got the additional Invocation of Spirits. And if you didn't know, not only that, but there are even more heroes coming. There are more lords coming. Black Friday. 3 new lords are featured on the Black Friday banner. Are they going to be part of the Ancient Summoning event that's happening as well this weekend? Survey says... Yes, I think so. I truly do think so. Now, the Thanksgiving preview, I want to run through this because this is some juicy, juicy turkey. Okay? This ain't going to put you to sleep. This is going to jazz you the F up. All right? Summoning Bonanza. Random legendary Northerner or Piercer hero. This is important. Exclusive Black Friday deals. Question % off. Thanksgiving events. Participate in the Thanksgiving Scroll Exploration, Thanksgiving Market, and other events to earn free rewards. Your maximum being a legendary skill crystal. That's not bad as a freebie for Thanksgiving. This is going to be like the Spooky Candy and Vault of Sands and Crawling Dark event where you're going to collect some scrolls and turn them in. We'll have multiple events to choose from. Between 11/24 and 11/27, the featured summons, surprise summoning, and the ancient summoning events will be held concurrently. This is the perfect time to obtain a legendary hero. Feature Constance and Alaura, the 2 darling ladies we just discussed. Surprise summoning, we just discussed that. And the most uneventful summoning in the entire game, which needs a huge revamp, and I hope that they do it as soon as possible because this is the boringest shard to pull in the entire experience of Watcher of Realms. Sorry, not sorry. Not even probably a hot take. This is probably just a regular take. This summon is boring and needs a revamp. Faction Legendary Hero Bundle. Okay? The Northerner Piercer Legendary Hero Bundle is live. Don't wait to get your random legendary hero along with items needed to promote them to 6-star max level. This is not a free hero. Okay? So, not everybody's getting this. Wow. All right, so let me just reiterate. Not a free hero. You have to buy this. If you buy this, you have the opportunity to choose from the North Throne, which I would not do, or to choose from the Star Piercers, which I would most assuredly do. You get Arachnea, not worried about that. Hex, great marksman. Silas, great marksman. Selkath, great marksman. Aspen, all around great guy. Not a great marksman. He tries, though. He throws a spear. And he has uses later. But these 3 fellas right here, like if I could get an A1 Razak, that would be good. So it is entirely plausible that even though this is not free, this could happen on the account. I don't know. Not making any promises. Maybe. Who knows? Exclusive Black Friday discounts. A bunch of flash deals. The worst possible deal that you could ever get to induce a whole bunch of FOMO and make you sit around and look at the game every hour. Not a big fan of this. Am a big fan of the additional heroes and champions, or rather the lords being added into the game because all 3 of these are lords. But also earn 3 types of summoning crystals all at once. Don't miss out. That sounds more up my alley. I want to know more about that. And so far I haven't seen much more information about the Summoning Bonanza, where we can earn 3 types of summoning crystals all at once. And I don't want to miss out. I really don't. So lots of exciting stuff coming up. I have rambled for forever. I'm going to get out of here for the day, hoping to win some tournaments tomorrow and have a boost to the old shard count. Otherwise, keep on playing with the D, watching these realms, and come on back and tune in. You know, that's what we do.